things down to get to our last couple of players left in this tournament. Spawning in the top left position as the blue Terran player. Coming in for FXO, it is GuMiho. And spawning in the bottom right position as the red Protoss player. Coming in for Root Gaming, it is Sage. Both of these guys, very high level Korean players. Definitely not going to be by any means an easy match. And I'm really honestly excited for this. We are just getting so close to winding things down. Sorry for the delay for starting group stage number 3. We did have a 3-way tiebreaker in our other group with Yu-Gi-Oh, Lucifron, and Straylock. So had to make sure that we had that sorted out. But we are going to be bringing you guys the rest of the group's games for now. So if you guys aren't familiar with these players, I don't know how, man. Both very, very talented individuals. GuMiho, kind of known for a lot of really nice runs in GSL. Never really made it to the tippity top, but definitely, Code S competitor nonetheless. And kind of famous for being able to hold a lot of things. He's a very resilient, hard-to-kill Terran player. And he is going to be opening up with a fast barracks into gas. Now, our guy in the bottom right, Sage, he, of course, from Root Gaming. He is a Korean player, one of the recent pickups, I guess you could say, towards the latter half of 2012. And he has been performing very well, pretty much, almost say one of the carries for Root Gaming in the Acer Team Story Cup, another competition that these guys have been playing in very recently. And I have to say, casting a lot of Sage's games, he is by no means going to be a pushover for GuMiho. This should be a very, very intense series. I really cannot wait to see what happens here. But so far, pretty standard opening coming up from Sage. He's not doing anything unusual. Double gas has become the standard right now for Protoss versus Terran, at least for being able to deal with any kind of aggression. So we do have the barracks now done for GuMiho. Has 2 SCV. Okay, it's just a Marine. He's just going out to scout for any kind of proxies. Wants to be safe. And a Reaper now coming up after the Marine. So this could be a little bit something like one of those builds that we saw come out of Thorzane, where he just kind of went for the, I can't remember, like, we see so many Terran games. Look at this 4GG that went for the Reaper after the Marine and just pushed. But GuMiho trying to build a bunker now on this Nexus. Sage going a little bit brave here with this this fast Nexus. GuMiho must think he's going to be able to get this bunker up. And this is a bit of light pressure, but there is a Marine coming and a Reaper. And this could actually turn out to be a very, very big pain for Sage to deal with. Now, the Mothership Core should be able to hold this no problem. But if he can make him burn an only photon overcharge, no, it's not going to happen. He does kill that SCV right before it finishes the bunker, but the Reaper now in the main base of Sage. GuMiho getting in here, trying to get a kill on this Reaper. Nothing yet, but he is burning some mining time. Ooh, one probe kill does come in for Sage, and of course he has this bunker here kind of preoccupying the Mothership Core, and the Reaper's gonna barely duck out. A narrow escape for our FX Open Terran player. This bunker's got to be canceled, and so it shall. Another Marine rallied across the map. GuMiho is going to start pulling these back, realizing, okay, I don't really have that much of an opportunity to deal damage. But he does have the factory set up now. He will be taking a second gas geyser as this starport has begun. Center at the natural expansion. So GuMiho is looking to go for... GuMiho is looking to go for an expansion. It's going to be a little bit more of a macro rebuild, but he is open so aggressively with this 1-1-1. And behind this expansion, Sage is going for a Stargate. Very interesting to see a Stargate timing after expansion. The majority of Protoss players do choose to go straight for the Stargate when they get it, just so that they can really, really lower any possible opportunity for the Terran player to have adequate defenses set up against an Oracle. So I feel like we will see an Oracle out of the Stargate just because it would catch GuMiho off guard seeing an expansion. So that might actually be why he thinks that, be like, oh, well, he expanded. It's unlikely he's going to go for a fast Stargate, but the Oracle is coming in. The Reaper not going to be able to get in and scout. Ooh, very, very low health. 4 hit points. One more hit from anything would have killed that guy, but he does escape. And third command center away for GuMiho. So behind this little bit of aggression with this medevac, these handful of Marines and this paw full of mines, he will be being a little bit greedy. In terms of how this could present an issue for him, though, this barracks is building a reactor. He has a tech lab coming in on the starport, but this Oracle, there's nothing that can really contest this right now. I might even fly past this medevac. No, GuMiho will not see it, but that could end up being even worse for him. He does not have an engineering bay. He's building a Raven, which isn't really going to solve his problem. It takes so long to build, and now a Phoenix is out. He's going to drop into the main base mineral line. He's got Widow Mines. He's burning them. Sage isn't going to respond in time. Oh, a sick Graviton lift on that Widow Mine. We'll be able to pick it up and prevent it from killing anything. The second Widow Mine does manage to pick off a handful of probes, 5 of them, but ooh, the second mine not able to make any use of itself, and the Phoenix will chase away that medevac, but where is the Oracle? He's bringing it back to kill the Widow Mines. GuMiho, he may have just bought himself another life there. Instead of sacking anything, he's losing so much mining time. He's not even transferring down. He's already saturated there, so he's just going to bring the Oracle back to kill the Widow Mine, and that is a huge win for GuMiho. Not only was he able to be greedy as hell, but he's not going to lose anything at all, and he killed 5 probes. Reaper is going to duck back in towards the natural expansion, and he's making him burn even more mining time. Just look at how much this impacts the income of our Protoss player. GuMiho really rushing in, doing as much as he can, even gets another probe kill. Another probe kill! 3 kills on that Reaper. Cash money on him. Not bad at all. Looking at the workers kill tab, we have 9 for GuMiho, and Sage, I believe, he doesn't really kill anything at all. He still has this Oracle. It still has a good amount of energy for putting on aggression, but GuMiho should be much more aware of this. He's getting a siege tank. He has a Viking. The Marines won't be very good against this Oracle, as an Oracle is capable of killing about 6 Marines straight up. So Oracle's going to be diving into the natural expansion. 1 SCV kill. Can Sage even the losses? He might be willing to dive for these kills. The Viking is going to be able to come zone this bad boy out, and Sage is going to try to shut down the production of the production, as it were, with this Oracle, but he is only going to get 3 SCV kills, not quite what he wanted. 4 barely managing that straggling kill, and he did slow down a couple of these production facilities. GuMiho is actually, his one barracks is not being built right now, so that's a bit of a loss on his part. He's going to have his production severely hampered. But now GuMiho going for a follow-up tank push with a little bit of bio. What an interesting setup he has. The Viking, of course, can zone out a lot of the defenses. The Mothership Core has enough energy for Photon Overcharge, though, and Photon Overcharge has more range than a siege tank. So this is going to be very, very interesting. This is not your average kosher Terran versus Protoss build, ladies and gentlemen. The Phoenix will be somewhat useful from possibly Graviton lifting a tank. We do have the first Colossus about to step onto the field. And in all honesty, GuMiho's build, going without upgrades, this is almost an all or nothing. He almost has to do damage with this, because if he falls behind here and loses everything to this Colossi, he is going to be in such a huge amount of trouble. He's only starting his stim just now at the 11-minute mark. The Phoenix and the Colossus are here, so GuMiho, yeah, he's going to retreat. He can't do anything. He's going to continue to bolster his forces. The fact that he's still producing siege tanks is very, very interesting. He does have the starport now on that reactor. Is he going to get some faster Vikings or medevacs? It will be medevacs, but Sage looking pretty sharp. He's actually hit quite a few supply blocks so far this game, which have hampered his ability to keep up in supply with GuMiho, but doing all right for the most part. Of course, he can always chrono boost the warp-ins and get rid of those that supply deficit a little bit faster. But GuMiho, he's just kind of sitting tight. He's got 4 siege tanks. I'm curious if he's going to make any more. If we're going to see some interesting playstyle, perhaps GuMiho's found a good way to use tanks in this matchup. Not 100% sure, but it does look like Sage wants to go in for a bit of pressure. He has 3 Phoenix coming in towards the side of the natural, and the Colossus with the Mothership Core and the rest of these units are right outside the natural of GuMiho. So he could be trying to go in and force something here. The Viking's going to be good for zoning out the Phoenix. And Sage, what is he going to do with this? SCV actually sees this whole army. GuMiho knows what's up. And, oh goodness, GuMiho, he doesn't have the stim. He doesn't have the +1 or the combat shield. The Marines are naked, fighting versus these forces. Point defense drone going down to stop the Stalkers. But the tanks, he's not really in range for the tanks to deal maximum amount of damage. The Raven will fall. And GuMiho, I mean, just tanks versus this composition. It's not the worst thing ever, but he is definitely... He's going to hold for now, but this 3rd command center is really, really in jeopardy. Phoenix coming in to try to poke away at these Vikings. The Phoenix do mess with the Viking AI, so... Oh no, the Stalkers have found the command center. GuMiho may lose his 3rd CC. He built it so early, and it will die early as well, perhaps. But no, he's just going to engage. GuMiho pulling his SCVs. He realizes he needs to kill this, and now he's just going to step away from the siege tanks, and this is such a huge problem for GuMiho. He does manage to save the 3rd command center. He's still barely even in supply. But taking a look at some numbers here, worker supply, Sage is now significantly ahead. Both are about even in army supply, but with more units being warped in for Sage as time goes on. Oh, this is just going to be so rough. Is he just going to engage into the siege tank line? Taking a couple of big hits, big tank volleys here. He may try to use the Colossi to just shear away the bio. We do have a Marine running over towards the bottom left, delaying that third Nexus by a teensy bit, but Sage will be able to get it up no problem if he really wants to, at least. Yeah. If you want to, there it is. Third Nexus. Twilight Council going down as well. And he's going to be able to move into more upgrades, but I don't actually think that Sage has a forge. No. So no upgrades at all for Sage right now. He is building his first forge. He's definitely going to want to get a second one, and just looking at this Artosis pylon almost makes me want to cringe, but he is stepping forward with a couple of these Marines and Marauders, really trying to shove Sage off of him. And Sage is taking the really aggressive role. Oftentimes we see the aggression kind of sit in the hands of the Terran player in this matchup, but the Oracle, it came back from the dead, but barely any health. It's not going to be able to do too much, and it will die without killing anything else. So solid defense there from GuMiho. At least his turret gets an MVP there. But Sage, he knows what's up. He's coming over to stop this left side command center. Oh man, GuMiho is once again actually separated from his orbital. And now he's going to spread the bio and try to push in here. The Vikings trying to get some shots off as well. The tanks are practically useless. He can always fall back and retreat away from them. GuMiho, though, has a very nice arc. He's getting some solid positioning on the Colossi, stepping forward, but his bio stim's so low. These Colossi will be able to just shear through this, but not before GuMiho says you will lose all of your Colossi. And a very, very nice engagement to reset the tech of Sage has really, really put him in a nice spot. Sage currently pretty much just only on just Stalkers and Zealots. That's it. He's got 12 Stalkers and 2 Zealots. That's all he's got aside from the Mothership Core. So really, really nice amount of damage caused by GuMiho, and a follow-up push could be devastating. He's going to land his Vikings and just go in and just shove this third base down. And with his upgrade advantage, since no upgrades are even done for Sage, GuMiho does have his 1-1 on his Bioforce. He has a couple Medivacs. He has the tanks, and tanks are so good versus Stalkers, especially without that Blink upgrade. So this could be huge. He's going to siege the tanks, and GuMiho's getting ready to push in. The Vikings stepping forward. The Time Warp goes down, but the tanks are here to support the Bioforces. He needs to target fire the tanks onto the Stalkers, and the Vikings giving in their extra DPS, and GuMiho looks like he might barely be able to shove through this. If he can get rid of all the Vikings, these Stalkers will fall like an anvil on the Wile E. Coyote's head, basically. And he is going to be able to move those tanks, get a bit of a better position. The Stalkers may just try to split and bum rush the tanks while GuMiho gets to work on this third base. And now the Marauders coming back up to defend the tank line. He is going to try to just snipe off the tanks, but so much damage being done here by GuMiho. Sage is just going to pull the probes and try to use them to take out as an assisting unit against these siege tanks. The Immortal trying to get in here and throw in extra damage, but there's just so much bio. Sage is going to be taking a lot of damage before he holds this push off from GuMiho, and the supply just slowly tilting further and further in GuMiho's favor. Sage GG's GuMiho with a very, very interesting setup of units, and in all honesty, taking a pretty risky move by going for those tanks. I would not have expected him to try to do something like that by any means. That was a very interesting game. Honestly, I thought GuMiho would have lost that third command center, but he managed to keep it alive. And the arc that he got, GuMiho's micro, I guess, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. GuMiho's micro won in that game. In terms of build order, he was not in an ideal position to deal damage. He didn't really do anything with his initial push. He actually had to bring it home. And then Sage killed a ton of SCVs for free. But GuMiho got a really good engagement and just completely annihilated the tech of Sage, and that was how he was able to win. Just sick control. I can't wait to see game number 2, guys. Stay tuned. We'll get to that as soon as possible. You're watching DreamHack Open 2013 Stockholm. I'm your caster, Nathanias.